When's the last time you heard anybody ask a question about the worst mass shooting in history in Las Vegas? When the guy went up in the building and killed all the people at the concert. It was on the news for about 2 weeks. It's over. People are trying to get you to move on from Maui and the fires, the origins of the fires, the question of where are the children, the barricades, the no-fly zones, the media blackouts. I want you to move on. They tried to destroy Eric West's life, the only one that was giving the world the information that was actually coming out. And anybody else that tried to stop on the side of the road and just simply take a picture, they told them you can be arrested based off of an emergency proclamation. Move on. You may already know this, but if you don't know this, it's interesting to me that the police chief of Maui is the same exact police chief that was the police chief of Las Vegas when the worst mass shooting in American history happened, is now the same police chief of a police department that just oversaw the worst fire and the most deaths in United States history. Does that not seem odd to you? Does that not seem odd that nobody is talking about that? No one is calling for his job? He's also the coroner. Did you know that? Did you know that the police chief in Maui is also the coroner? And that he gets to determine, so he's the police chief overseeing the police response and the policing of this emergency proclamation, but he's also over the official count of the death toll because he's the coroner. He gets to decide what numbers go out and what numbers do not go out. Does that seem odd to you? And here's another question. Every shooting that happens is horrible. It is demonic when somebody takes the life of another human being. But isn't it odd that almost every, if not every, mass shooting where someone left a manifesto or their crazy ideas of life, whether it be racist, whether it be what they would call homophobic or whatever like that, isn't it interesting that their documents, their manifestos, their computers, the sites that they went to, the people that they followed, are on the media within days, if not hours, of the shooting, and there's a profile that is immediately made of this person and that it's hate speech. But yeah, flag me again if you need to. Um, Algorithm, little G gods out there. But when's the last time you heard anything about the horrible shooting at the Christian school in Nashville by the transgender shooter? We were told that her room was full of manifestos. We were told by the Nashville Police Department that it was so well documented and that if it got out, they couldn't put it out because if it got out, it could empower so many others to know how to do something like this. But you know what? That's never stopped it before. Why have we not heard that manifesto? Why did the media just go along with it and never ask that question? Why can't we see that? Why can't we? After all this time, we've still never seen or heard of the things that they found in this transgender murderer's room. We don't know anything about Las Vegas. We barely know anything about Maui. The truth is, if it wasn't for Eric West and a couple of others, but mainly him, because even the other ones that were given information, they were following his lead. If it was not for a real estate agent deciding to tell the world the truth about what happened in his hometown, his home island, do you think you would have known any of this from CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, any of them? You would have known nothing. It would have been sold as just a horrible climate change induced forest fire. It's time to move on. It's just a tragedy. So sad. Move on. But why is it that we have still not given a detailed account of where are the children? When you have 3,000 children that were registered in school and now a few hundred registered in school, and the governor gets up there in his press conference this week, the governor of Hawaii, and says the number has been reduced to almost nothing. All these kids have been accounted for. Okay, well, if that's the case, fine. Praise God. I hope that is the case. But give us documentation. Show us the accounted for children. Don't just get up there and spout off a number, and then you want to bring the missing down to 60 from 1,000. Well, who are those people that you found? And who are the 60 that are still missing according to your numbers? But we're not supposed to ask questions. We're supposed to just move on. Let me just tell you, listen to me. I don't know if this is going live or not. I can't see the live chat on this particular app that I'm using. I have no idea if it's there or on Facebook or YouTube. But I can tell you this. We are being prepped for something huge. And I'm going to tell you, be prepared for something big this fall and winter. And they are programming you to be able to move on and only focus on what they want you to focus on. They want you to talk about, a concert. They want you to talk about, here's a hurricane, which we should talk about that. Don't get me wrong, but it's got a lot of rain that's happened here, and these are things that we should focus on because these are affecting real people's lives. But when they just sort of move on from one narrative to the next, we are just programmed to forget about Maui. When is the last time you even thought about Las Vegas, the worst mass shooting in United States history? We don't know anything about the man that did it. Nothing. We don't know anything about him. We don't know anything about his leanings. I promise you this, if his leanings were to the right, if his leanings were towards Christianity, and dare I say, if his leanings towards a particular political candidate that everybody seems to hate on one side and are trying to put him in jail, if his leanings went to that way, you better know that we would have known about him. But could it be that his leanings was in the opposite direction, much like the guy that shot the Senators while they were playing softball? We heard about it for about 2 weeks, moved on. Don't fall for the trap. We're being set up and programmed to look away from something big that's coming. And isn't it interesting that on October 4th, 1:20 p.m., every phone, every TV, every radio, every computer, every tablet will simultaneously experience the largest, most unified testing of an emergency alert system in the history of America. Why? Why in October? Got things that make you go, all right. They want us to move on, but we're not because we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.